Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Originally, I was going to read a little Bhagavad Gita, but then Maharaj announced that we'll be reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, so we'll do that. So I'm going to read a very apt section, or a few verses, however long you've got, and this is, I think, the first time it's described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Lord Chaitanya met Haridas Thakur, the Haridas Thakur ki.
Jai.
Chapter 3, Antya-lila, text 49. One day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Haridas Thakur as usual, and in the course of the discussion he inquired as follows. My dear Thakur Haridas, in this age of Kali, most people are bereft of Vedic culture, and therefore they are called Yavanas. They are concerned only with killing cows and Brahminical culture. In this way, they all engage in sinful acts. Purport. From this statement by Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can clearly understand that the word Yavana does not refer only to a particular class of men. Anyone who is against the behavior of the Vedic principles is called a Yavana. Such a Yavana may be in India or outside of India. As described here, the symptom of Yavanas is that they are violent killers of cows and Brahminical culture. So we offer our prayers to the Lord by saying, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha. The Lord is the maintainer of Brahminical culture. His first concern is to see the benefit of cows and Brahmins. As soon as human civilization turns against Brahminical culture and allows unrestricted killing of cows, we should understand that men are no longer under the control of the Vedic culture, but are all Yavanas and Malechas. It is said that Krishna consciousness movement will be prominent within the next 10,000 years, but after that, people will all become Malechas and Yavanas. Thus, at the end of the Yuga, Krishna will appear as the Kalki avatar and kill them without consideration. Text 51. Lord Chaitanya said, how will these Yavanas be delivered? To my great unhappiness, I do not see any way. Purport. This verse reveals the significance of Lord Sri Chaitanya's appearance as Patita Pavana, the deliverer of all fallen souls. Srila Narottama Das Thakur sings, Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar. O my Lord, you have appeared just to deliver all the fallen souls. Mosama Patita Prabhu Napa IBR. And among all the fallen souls, I am the lowest. How Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always thinking about the deliverance of the fallen souls is shown by the statement, a dukkha, it's my great unhappiness. This statement indicates that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna himself, is always very unhappy to see the fallen souls in the material world. Therefore, he comes himself as he is, or he comes as a devotee in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to deliver love of Krishna directly to the fallen souls. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he not only gives knowledge of Krishna, but by his practical activities teaches everyone how to love Krishna. Krishna Prema Pradayate. Those who are following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should take the Lord's mission most seriously. In this age of Kali, people are gradually becoming less than animals. Nevertheless, Although they are eating the flesh of cows and are envious of brahminical culture, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considering how to deliver them all from this horrible condition of life. Thus he asks all Indians to take up his mission. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. And they try to read the Adilila 941. It is therefore the duty of every advanced and cultured Indian to take this cause very seriously. All Indians should help the Krishna conscious movement in its progress to the best of their ability. Then they will be considered real followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Unfortunately, even some so-called Vaishnavas enviously refuse to cooperate with this movement, but instead condemn it in so many ways. We are very sorry to say that these people try to find fault with us being unnecessarily envious of our activities, although we are trying to do the best of our ability to introduce the Krishna consciousness movement directly into the countries of the Yavanas and Malechas. Such Yavanas and Malechas are coming to us and becoming purified Vaishnavas who follow in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One who identifies himself as a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should feel like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who said, Iha Sabha Kon Mate Nishta. How will all these Yavanas be delivered? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always anxious to deliver the fallen souls because their fallen condition gave them great unhappiness. This is the platform on which one can propagate the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Haribo Jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sankirtan movement ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada's Sankirtan movement ki
Jai.
All glories to His divine grace. Hari.
So we can just pull everybody back in. It's still here as okay, we can see everybody again now. Hare Krishna. Okay, back over to you, Rafi.
All right. Thank you, Radharman Prabhu. That's very nice to have some shastric moments. That's very fitting, especially on this Vyasapuja of His Holiness.
We've had 4.5 hours of Shastri moments.
So, is Shamagori available and willing to share?
Not just now, but I mean, maybe shortly.
Okay.
Maybe ask another devotee who's personally present in the room to speak.
Yes. Like who?
What do we think?
Maybe Bhakta Eden.
Dr. Eden. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Nice choice. Oh, hostess with the mostess.
Everything good, your mercy. Everything foolish, my fault.
Hardly.
Krishna Maharaj,
Hare Krishna Bhakti Eden.
thank you for having us here, and it's so wonderful to see you in person, because this is not an opportunity that I personally get. Often you do talk on Zoom, and
Please speak up, Prabhu. Everyone wants to hear you.
Hare Krishna. So we do speak on Zoom. And,
Just pretend that we're on the street and you're
Yeah.
trying to give a book to somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can speak the right loud, right loud.
So we do get an opportunity to speak on Zoom, but rarely in person. And one of the things I remember at the beginning of this journey was that I didn't actually get to speak. I didn't get to see you for about 6 or 7 months.
Cool.
And I just remember the first time I ever saw you was just a really incredible experience. Just,
Tell us.
such a lovely exchange. So well, it was by the grace of Radharaman Prabhu who invited us over to Hyde, and that week we came over for Ananta Kripa Prabhu's initiation, and it was a really emotional and really spiritual event, and really touched me that week. So the first time I met Maharaj, we had a very warm embrace, and it was just out of this world. For that whole week, I was able to come and listen to Maharaj's readings daily, and so that was also a very, very special event for me, just to be in that room. It's a little bit indescribable, so I'm a little bit lost in words.
We know the feeling, more or less, in different ways.
So yeah, got a little offering from Maharaj, so I'd like to read that out very
Please.
quickly.
And send it to me, because after this, I'm going to, whoever can send offerings through the internet, I make a folder, and I put them all together and then send them out to everybody. So please do that.
Dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your lotus feet and to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. On this auspicious day, I'd like to offer my heartfelt gratitude for the mercy you've bestowed upon me in the short time we've known each other. Even at this preliminary stage, I've been fortunate enough to experience your protection, empowerment, and love, without which my spiritual journey would be impossible. You often say that the duty of the spiritual master is to bring his disciple to the service of Srila Prabhupada. Through your tasteful reading, editing, and producing of Srila Prabhupada's books, his greatest contribution to the world, you inspire me every day to relish the association of our founder Acharya and do my utmost to follow his preaching spirit. Therefore, any taste I have for hearing and chanting the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, I attribute to your causeless mercy. And please bless me to continue hearing and chanting in your association until the moment of perfection. In the purport to Srimad Bhagavatam 4.9.11, which is one of the, whilst listening to your YouTube videos, and you mentioned in the purport, Prabhupada says, it is possible to mature in devotional service only in the association of devotees. So what better place to do this than in ISKCON London, Soho Street down, under the most beautiful and merciful gaze of Shri Shri Radha Nandanishvara. Shri Shri Radha Nandanishvara ki
Jai Ho.
Hi.
I'd like to think that I'd have the courage to end material life and join the Brahmachari ashram by myself, but we all know that that decision was really a result of your encouragement and hypnotic Zoom calls during lockdown. So thank you for helping me through that tough time, because it was difficult for me to do. From your guidance is my success in the transition, and I hope to be of use to this holy place, especially in the preaching mission. By your mercy, I've been given the opportunity to fulfill all 5 angas of bhakti, chanting the holy name, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with the devotees, living in the Dharma, and worshipping the deity. I feel like I've received so much from you already, and I'm not sure what I've done to deserve your association. However, if I'm not being too demanding on this auspicious day, I seek one last blessing, which is to be engaged in your service in any way I can, for as long as you wish. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. That was deeply moving and deeply meaningful. And from my side, consider it done.
Haribo.
Krishna. Consider it done. He's going out on the streets from the first day almost. No, just anyway, not first day, but very soon after he came, and distributing Bhagavad Gitas on the street on the basis of the book, with using Vyasapuja Prabhu, and you heard him speak, so you know who he is. The guidance he wrote a paper how to distribute Bhagavad Gita as it is on the basis of the book, And he's bringing people sometimes to tears on the streets. It's in London, downtown London. That's not an easy thing to do. So your future is brilliant. And all you have to do is just keep doing it and not stop doing it. And you will experience things in this life that at this point you cannot imagine. Guaranteed. Hare Krishna. Haribol.
Hi. It's very special. So bright. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing like that so openly. Very nice. More than nice, but yeah, it's my second language. What about Gail Moore, Prabhu? He's there too, isn't he?
Absolutely.
He's like one of the sergeants, generals. So
Yeah.
definitely we want to hear from you too, Prabhu.
Absolutely. Now, someone else has to manipulate the phone, so he won't do it.
Well, after all these offerings, I definitely feel completely inadequate. Humble. Some beautiful offerings from some very advanced souls, some of which are in this room. Do I tend to say something? Some of the striking qualities that stand out for me from the Maharaj, for example, he always makes everybody feel very special. It can be a room full of people, but everybody in the room, every single person, feels special. Maharaj invokes this through his affection. Even a new person in the middle of conversation will walk in the room, he will just stop the conversation, make them feel completely at home and comfortable. Ask them a little bit about themselves, get them to sit down and make them feel special. And so their heart becomes open, and that's when Maharaj injects the medicine. And I've got a, probably, I don't never use it actually, probably hardly anyone knows, but I have a nickname for Maharaj, which is on an affectionate basis, is probably too informal, so I would never use it. But I call him the smoking gun. Because I've seen the smoking gun in action when I've seen people's hearts change right before my eyes. That's Maharaj he's so affectionate, he's so kind. It's like many people in this room and many people who have spoken today, they're not initiated disciples of him. But I've always felt that he's just as affectionate, if not more, to me than some of his disciples. And I know others feel the same. So kind. So this softens us up, softens the heart up, and then the bullet is actually Krishna. It gives you Krishna. And the smoke, which is the sign, is the expression on the person's face when the message has been received. The other quality I wanted to mention was, and it's been touched upon already, even by Maharaj himself in this, is how he systematically preaches to every single person that he comes into contact with, whether it's somebody just comes on the phone wants to deliver a parcel, or he goes to the Apple store, or he goes anywhere. Nobody is safe. Everybody's a potential victim of Maharaj's mercy. I recently went to the Apple store with him, and he just very calmly, very confident way, just explained the basic philosophy to this person after softening him up with some nice affectionate words. And what did he was helpless. He was disarmed. And therefore the medicine was administered nicely. And of course, I've been very inspired by that. And so trying to, in some small way, following Maharaj's footsteps and an example, try to do the same. And the example of the effectiveness of this technique is, as was mentioned before, when we were trying to arrange these visas for these two fine Vaishnava gentlemen here who can help facilitate the very important audiobooks, Chaitanya Charitamrita audiobooks and other audiobooks for the upliftment of the world. And it was an impossible task actually, because I didn't have all the information at hand. I'd never done anything like that before. And there was one document I just didn't know where to get it from. No one seemed to have it. And so I had to phone this special office and she said, no, actually, even if you get it, you have to wait 21 days. And if I didn't submit it within 3, I would have lost that opportunity to get that license, to get those visas. So, but then during the conversation, I just had this feeling of Maharaj's presence. And I just felt Maharaj speak through me.
Whoa.
And it was as if I know exactly what I should say. It just came to me. And I just felt Maharaj speak through me and Prabhupada speaking through him. And just started to say very straightforwardly, very calmly, very kindly, our philosophy, how important this work is, and how they can be part of this great work by helping us in this as a service. And within 24 hours, we had the document. I submitted in time. It was amazing.
That's a
And,
miracle. That's a miracle.
it's not the only time that that's happened, and I'm sure it will happen many times again, because we do carry Maharaj in our hearts, as he carries Prabhupada in his heart. And so many things over the years we've learned and experiences we've had, we want to share those. And it's very exciting. And I feel that closeness. And I know how affection he has for us, how much he loves us. And even if he's personally suffering so much in so many ways. But have you ever met Maharaj and he hasn't been very affectionate? Or had a nice, kind word to say, or been Krishna conscious in every single situation? So Maharaj, he's the smoking gun he shoots from the hip, and now he's got 2 new hips. He will shoot even more quickly, more accurately, and more powerfully than ever, if that's possible. So all glories to you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for
Jai Dharma, Hare Krishna. I might add that we had wonderful discussions in Mayapur. How long ago was that? 3 years.
3.5, 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Long talks about many subjects. And I found out that his heart really was back in London, making devotees. And yeah, the result of that conversation is he's here, and not only is he in London making devotees, he's now temple president of Radhalandaneshwara's temple. So this is, if that's not a miracle, I don't know what is.
Absolutely, and it was again Maharaj's trickery, softening me up with his affection. So it came to the point where, how could I refuse? And what can you do? I never wanted to do management or a meeting. So Maharaj is so kind, even he doesn't directly ask you to do something. You understand what he wants, what he would like, and you're obliged. You have no choice. No, there's no way out of it. So,
Yeah.
but it's so uplifting, so faith building to just allow that to happen. So please, Maharaj, keep pushing me so I can be the best possible type of instrument that I can.
Yeah, you were the leader of a renaissance. I know I was there. Radha Raman was there in days when it was different. And then it changed, and now it's going to change again back. Renaissance to what it's meant to be, Prabhupada's flagship temple.
Literally all by your mercy.
Just keep as Prabhupada's mercy. Just keep Prabhupada in the center, and the books in the center, both reading and in all the meetings, they should read. I guess you're already doing it, but that's the secret. To hear like this together makes us one family, no doubt about it. Prabhupada's family. He's our founder, Acharya. This is the way you satisfy him. No doubt. And thank you for taking up that, because I know for a fact Radharaman can convince, can confirm this. It's not your nature, although you're competent to be a manager and organizer, but it's your nature to do other things. But you've taken it up, and you'll take it up seriously because that's who you are. You know, you're no light personality yourself, and you will see wonderful things happening. Hare Krishna.
As you desire it, Maharaj.
Hare Bol.
Wow.
Jai. So let's get your Bharti Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Charlotte Go Permanande.
Hare Bol.
Oh. Now, I happen to feel that there are still devotees who really would like to speak, but they're so shy, you know, like so modest.
Well,
Like,
Janice comes to mind, Rati Manjari. Maybe, would you like to speak?
Me. If you want, I would. Okay. Well, I've been hearing a lot about ISKCON London, and I also became awakened in ISKCON London, actually, as a wandering punk, not really a punk, but looking like a punk, and going to London just for shopping and getting blues records and whatever else, going to King Street. I met this devotee who gave me 2 little books, Search for Liberation and Chant and Be Happy. I think those 2. And I was reading, and then of course I got the invitation for the Sunday feast, and I went. I knew about Hare Krishna, but I kept it, you know, as unimportant because I knew it was something very powerful. So I was in my other plans. I had my teenager plans, but I went to the Sunday feast in the Soho Street, and there was His Grace Mahajuti preaching very powerfully. So I went to the Sunday feast, and then I went later. There was a darshan. And gradually all the guests started disappearing, but he knew that I was like ripe. So he kept me there, and I was there asking all kinds of questions. And yeah, he pulled me in. His Grace, Mahajuti, Prabhu, Mahajuti Swami. He really made a powerful impression. I was mumbling something about, I can't join because I have 5 cats to take care of. And then he thundered, he said, "What's the use of taking care of 5 cats when you can save thousands of human beings?" That was that. Then I thought, he's right, you know, he's right. So after that, it was a few more months, and then I joined. So Sri Radha Nandaneshwar, Lord Jagannath Subhadra Balaram, and the powerful preaching of the ISKCON London devotees. Ki Jai. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that is my London connection. I did write an offering, but I also had a song that I might want to sing. We haven't heard any songs yet. It's just me and the cartels. Well, I don't know, Maharaj, you can say what you would prefer. Either is good.
This is what the majority.
Should I choose?
Of course.
Okay. Well, let me try to read some parts of the offering, because I know you love it when we write. So I managed to write.
Now don't forget to send it to me.
I
Is that-
did
put
already.
it in the- Okay, good.
I did.
Okay, good.
Okay. My dear Guru Maharaj, Keshav Bharati Das Goswami, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. On this holy day of your appearance in this material world, I would like to offer you these words of gratitude and reflection on some of your wonderful qualities. To guide me in my glorification, I have taken the first letters of your name. K. K stands for knowledge. These books are gold mines, you say, and we have to mine them. To come in contact with you is to gain knowledge, because you are always engaged in studying, reading, and speaking of Srila Prabhupada's books. You have a great desire to share this wisdom with everyone you encounter, whether they be your daily readings audience, your humble assistant, Abhidas Brahmachari, a salesperson at the Apple store, or a fortunate nurse that serves you as her uncommonly friendly patient. Since our paths have crossed by sheer mercy, you have taken me, a dried out, tired, and bewildered fool, on a transcendental journey through Srila Prabhupada's divine books, thus allowing me daily access to real knowledge. This knowledge is fortifying me into giving up my hackneyed material desires and enter the divine treasure house of devotional service to the Supreme Lord, which is my birthright and my true occupation. The B stands for Bhakti. One of your godbrothers called you a professor of Bhakti. Certainly you are a learned scholar, even though you pretend not to be. But whoever associates with you and receives your blessings will not remain a dry mental speculator merely juggling even Vedic knowledge around. By the kindness flowing from your melted heart, as Vyasapuja Prabhu stated, you will carefully yet emphatically transmit the conclusion of all knowledge, which is bhakti, or devotion to the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. You not only speak about it, you live in devotion, not only to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, but to all Krishna's parts and parcels. I and many others experience this in our loving dealings with you, and I find it irresistible. Yeah. With your joyful and clear voice, ringing in my ears day after day, delivering the happy tidings of bhakti, you have become my guide out of the dense forest of material entanglement. D stands for dedication. You joined the ISKCON movement in 1972 and were initiated by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada in 1973. From day one, you were fascinated by Srila Prabhupada and his books and teachings. You simply gave your heart to him, and you have never taken it back. You have dedicated your life to his divine grace like a true disciple, and this dedication has manifested an amazing legacy of variegated devotional service. Only Krishna knows the exact number, but we can safely estimate that over the 49 years of your devotional service in ISKCON, you must have served hundreds and thousands of devotees, guests, godbrothers, and pedestrians through patiently answering their questions, Q&A with KB, their phone calls and letters, hearing their problems, or comforting broken-hearted devotees whose gurus had fallen away. And let's not forget how you have distributed Srila Prabhupada's books in the streets of the world for many years, and how you would read the Chaitanya Charitamrita to the weary Sankirtan warriors of the Radha Damodar party over the phone. On top of all this, you have lived 23 years in the divine abode of Sri Govardhan. At the feet of the blessed hill, you were editing confidential Vaishnava literature, tolerating the heat and cold of many seasons. Under your able guidance and dedicated efforts, which include dealing with Indian bureaucracy, all types of pilgrims, and construction challenges, what looked like a weathered building gradually became the beautiful Bhaktivedanta ashram it is today. Acquired to fulfill Srila Prabhupada's desire to go to Govardhan, and offering shelter for devotees looking for a simple life in a peaceful place to increase their hearing and chanting. You are a true Goswami, for not only do you personally take pleasure in hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, you always find ways to engage others also. Your latest triumph in this is your dedication to read to us daily, spoon-feeding to us all we really need to know. G stands for gratitude. Gratitude is the cornerstone of the house of Bhakti, you said. A wonderful thought, which you also personify. With your gratitude for the smallest thing we may offer you, you brighten our hearts and draw us closer to surrendering fully to the Lord. Dear Most Guru Maharaj, today I have used many words to try and express what I cannot say.
Thank you, Rati.
Thank you for saving my spiritual life and for reinstating in me the hope that even I can become a devotee. Please mold me into what you want me to be by your expert guidance, and please bless me to always remember everything I have to be grateful for. Your aspiring servant, desiring to please you, Rati Manjari Devidasi.
Hare Krishna. Well, Rati Manjari Devidasi, you, since we renewed our contact from that day in my room in Govardhan, up
Yeah.
to Dallas, and now the path you've taken was winding, but now every time you send me a picture of the latest kirtan party that you've gathered to do Nagar Sankirtan in Holland, each time it grows. Started out with just you and a little harmonium or something, or kartos, by yourself in the rain. And you kept doing it. And you kept doing it. Then there were 3, then there were 4. And then the last time we said there was 75. So that is a direct result of your chanting Hare Krishna. Maybe you had some desire to be a rock star, but you're
Yes,
becoming a
at some
real,
point, yes.
yeah, now you're becoming a real star. And you just keep going out and chanting the way you're doing. And now you're getting involved in also publishing books and organizing the distribution of books, hopefully with Tradas's help, Prabhu. And you have a glorious future. Now you've had your grown-up son staying with you for so long, and now he's finally out of the nest, and now you'll have more time and more inclination, and may you do it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Beautiful. How about Shamagori?
She's still tied up in the kitchen, unfortunately.
I'm not surprised.
Maybe
It's her dharma.
Ananta Kripa,
Ananta Kripa. Go ahead.
please. Hare Krishna. Child, where's Prabhupada?
I'm not very good with writing. Try something else.
Please speak loudly, Prabhu.
Don't forget to send it to me.
Sure. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Performing daily services requires inspiration, and that inspiration comes from you. These days, for reading Srila Prabhupada's books that you freely share with us, daily inspires me to hear and chant with the devotees. More than that, it inspires us to create reading groups with the people that come for preaching programs. Every week, you're encouraging me to progress forward over the phone, even though I don't feel like I'm progressing, but I'm actually going backward. And as I'm going to see a devotee once in a while, Vasudev, we always talk about you because you remind me that when you joined Krishna consciousness in Soho, he was taking your guidance. So each time I meet him, we always talk about you. It's like it's just amazing. And we were reading with Bhakta Eden yesterday, before yesterday, in Adi Lila 146. Srila Prabhupada talked about the spiritual master, and he says, only out of his immense compassion does the personality of God reveal himself as a spiritual master. Therefore, in the dealings of an acharya, there are no activities but those of transcendental loving service to the Lord. He is the supreme personality of servitor Godhead. It is worthwhile to take shelter of such a steady devotee, who is called Ashraya Vigraha, or the manifestation or form of the Lord, of whom one must take shelter. Therefore, every day when I go on Sankirtan, pray to you and for your guidance and your shelter. And on this auspicious day, I'd like to acquire your blessings, program service, life to life. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hare
Haribol.
Krishna.
What about Rai Kanu? Patiently hearing. Yes, Mataji. Would you like to say something? With your
I wonder.
beautiful name.
I wonder. Wait, before we go, right, kind of.
Oh, wait, just a second. Yes, Maharaj.
Is Jai Shri still there?
I was also wondering that.
That we should have had Jai Shri before. I want to hear from Jai Shri. Is she still
Okay.
there?
I can try and send her a message.
No, it's late. She's in Hong Kong.
Still, I can
Now
send.
it's 4:53. So that's 10. That's 11. It's too late. Too late. Okay, right, Connor. Yes.
I just couldn't help but notice that Mother Shamgori is just sitting around the corner. She perhaps she can also at some point
Too
soon.
late. She's so shy. She's figuring out ways to avoid it. I know her well. She's figuring out some
I
ways to avoid
spotted
it.
her.
You've been rumbled one.
All right.
Yes,
Haribol,
Rai Kanu. Please unmute yourself. You know how to do that?
Yes,
Yes, yes, very good. Go ahead.
yes. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisance. All glory to Srila Prabhupada, all glory to I'm Richard. Now I'm in UK, not Hong Kong.
Excuse me, the connection is not
But
good,
I'm
Rai
in.
Kanu. It's not good. Do you have another option? It's like very warped.
Uh,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is it?
No, it's Maharaj, is it doable?
The thing is, the connection is not allowing us to hear the words that you're speaking clearly. It sounds.
Oh,
warped.
I see.
Yeah. So it's unless we can make it clear, it won't work. Can you make it clear?
Can you take a little distance? Not too close. Can you say something there? A little bit further from the mic. Yes.
Here? How about here?
No, it's in the
And
signal.
It's in the connection.
yeah, I think the signal was not so good.
No, huh?
So let me speak to her for a minute.
Okay,
Where
wonderful.
is she's not there anymore.
Yeah, she's just changed. She's there. She just what you want to see her? Raikanu.
I just want to tell Raikanu that thanks for coming and for hearing so nicely for 4.5 hours. This is no joke for anybody. It's almost 5. And I really appreciate her keeping in touch and supporting, and I look forward in the future to being able to see her more often, because now she's living in the UK. She's moved from Hong Kong to the UK. So
Yes.
I'm saying your connection isn't working, so I'm just saying the thing to you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And
Hare Krishna.
we will see each other soon. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, sure.
Haribol.
That looks nice. Thank you.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Yes. So what about Vrajaloka, who always has these nice reflections in the group? Would you like to speak, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Krishna Vajaloka.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All
All
glories to
glories to
Prabhupada.
you. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It was very nice to hear all the heartfelt offerings of the devotees. My offering is a little bit long, so not sure that I have time to read that. If it's possible, I try with my poor English.
Speak from your heart. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, can you speak something from the heart rather
Yes.
than the whole offering?
Although my heart is not full with devotional emotions, but I had the good fortune to hear all the devotees in the last few hours, and their wonderful offering melt my heart also. And I just would like to express to you, Guru Maharaj, my gratitude and my love to you, and I cannot express how rich I am because I have your association in my life. And as Vaishishika Prabhu said, that all of us who received your shelter, we are the richest persons and most fortunate persons in the world. And at that moment, I feel that more than any time before. So thank you very much for accepting me as your disciple and keeping me in your lotus feet. And thank you very much for giving us your wonderful example as a pure Vaishnava, as a real disciple, as a servant of Srila Prabhupada. And thank you very much for sharing with us your sweet realizations, your treasures of your heart, and thank you very much for engaging me in your service and Srila Prabhupada's service. And that's what I can say now.
If anyone goes and takes, and you should all take darshan of the altar in my room, she's responsible for all of the special garlands and the butterflies and everything that's making the altar just come to life. This is her devotional service, and it's very beautiful. It inspires everyone who comes into that room and sees the altar. It's extremely inspiring, and we thank you so much for that pure devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
I think we got, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, 5 hours. Yeah.
Thank you, Vrajaloka.
I'd like to hear from every single person, but time is limited. And yeah. Thank you very much for all of you. I'm sorry that everyone couldn't speak. It's just so many. I didn't expect there would be so many. And I know Priya Kun that might not have expected there were going to be so many. But my heart is the cup of my gratitude runneth over. And may the devotional feelings that you've expressed today come from my mouth to whomever I meet. And there was a time when I would just shut my eyes during this birthday thing and, just pray to Prabhupada, to take everything that they're saying about me, which I knew wasn't true, and give to him and give all of you to him. But one of I can't remember which birthday incident it was, but I opened my eyes and I looked into the eyes of the devotees and I realized that they wanted to give their love to me, and it was my duty to receive it graciously and in service. It's my service to do this. That's why I read that little explanation by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, becoming guru. So now I understand that my life becomes more complete and whole when I listen to your sweet offerings. And I pray to Srila Prabhupada that I'll be able to keep giving back for as long as I live. Thanks to all of you, because I feel filled up so much that I'm kind of, I'm getting to the point of having loss of words, and you know me, all of you well. I'm never at a loss for words. But I'm coming to that stage now where I'm actually, it's so good. I'm struggling for words. It's beyond words what I'm feeling. And I believe strongly that because I haven't initiated so many disciples, and because I've come in contact with disciples of my godbrothers, that I guess you could say small is beautiful, because when there's tens of thousands of them, and there's somebody up with a sign going, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and then the hook comes out and we're off the stage. And we Vaisheshika Prabhu and I have hosted in Govardhan the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, which is a very significant event, especially in Vrindavan and Govardhan. And the difference between the Vrindavan event and Govardhan event is there's fewer of us, that we all get to speak as long as we want, to be able to express our hearts. And sometimes it's short, sometimes it's long, whatever it is. And it creates this atmosphere. And this atmosphere, we should constantly, as much as possible, recall this atmosphere that has been created today and last year. It's so profound. And our dear Bhakti Churu Maharaj, who has departed since, the last time he was there during that disappearance day of Prabhupada, when all of Prabhupada's disciples and a few others got to speak without a time limit, then it created an atmosphere. And he stood up he grabbed the microphone and stood up. He said, "This was the nicest Prabhupada disappearance day I've ever had." And it was because there might not have been so many trappings and so much external things, but the hearts were open, and the sound of the offerings and the reciprocation were so profound that it permanently changed our hearts. So all I can do is say thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Gauri Thai ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Gaura Sundar ki jai.
Jai.
Jagannath Baladev Madhya ki jai.
Jai.
Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare
Glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Jai.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Keshav Bharati Das Goswami Maharaj ki. Wonderful. Okay, thank you, Maharaj, for staying with us so long. And we wish you a beautiful continuation of your Ekadasi, Vrat, and your whatever.
So I've got four more rounds to do for 64.
Amazing.
Yeah, I did 60 before
Just
this
amazing.
event. So Hare Krishna.
It's
Thank you
champion
all
class.
for giving me the strength. Hare Krishna.
Gauranga, Haribo.
Haribo.
Jai.
I wish you all out there could come and taste Shemagori's cooking because it's superlative. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so I think that's it, huh? I would like to thank all of you for coming. Also, especially the devotees in England who have organized this show with the nice garlands and the deities of Srila Prabhupada and deities of the local temple. And everyone, especially in your different time zones that have stayed up on common hours. And yet all together, you have really made this celebration very memorable. And we pray that we can hold this, like you say, Maharaj, in our hearts and remember and draw on this to go forward in our spiritual lives. Hare Krishna.
Test of a spiritual experience is it permanently changes you.
Yes.
It stays with you. It doesn't go away. Never going to be the same. Yeah, exactly. Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Okay, everybody unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.